Evening, everybody. It's 7:10 p.m. We're in the first 24 hours of our Kickstarter for the Last Light issue number 1. So I thought I would jump on here really quick and give a quick little update and talk a little bit more about the story. So here's our Kickstarter page here. I'm going to post the link in the comments. It's also in the original post. So you guys should be able to see that as well. But there we go. So the links went up in the comment section. If you're joining us, feel free to comment in the comments and I can put you on. Post your comments up on the screen. So if you have any questions regarding this story in particular, or if you just want to talk about the Kickstarter process or creating a comic book process, any of that will work here this evening. So we'll do a little bit of talking and cover this. So regarding the Kickstarter so far, we have 17 backers. We're at $819. That's awesome. So we're only 781 away from the minimum funding goal. Now with Kickstarter, if you're not familiar with it, it's an all or nothing platform. So when you're doing a Kickstarter, you want to set your minimum need up front, and then you have your minimum need to just do the print runs and do what you need to get everything to production, and then you have your true goals, which go farther. And to help reach those true goals, we set up things like stretch goals that we can unlock along the way that will give you bonus prizes into your reward packages to sweeten the deal, because as we hit those different reward levels, we'll be able to order more quantities, which will help reduce our costs, which means we can pass those savings on to you through extra rewards. So that's the name of the game there. And to get there, number one, we need your support, your backing. And to do that, you visit the links that I posted. If you don't remember, you can also go to bardstone.com. I'll share that later, but we have the link over there. Or just visit one of our social media pages, my artist Scott Zambelli, Bardstone Publishing, my personal page, Brett Pinson, Kevin Meinert. All of us have links that we've been posting on our social media pages. So, but if you can't remember anything else, just go to Kickstarter, type in Scott Zambelli or Last Light in the comics section, and you'll see that image that you see there with the infected polar bear terrorizing this man here. So yeah, that's where we're at. So let's check this out a little bit. I want to highlight a couple quick things in this Kickstarter. So number one, when you go to the link, you're going to come to this page right here, this green button here, back this project. That's where you go to become a backer. But if you don't know what you want to order yet, scroll down through first and you can look at the different reward levels, and then you can click on one of those rewards and to go that way. But if you know what you want, you can go straight to back this project, okay? Then after you back it, go ahead and click these buttons here. You can share it either direct to Facebook, direct to Twitter, direct through your email, or this is my favorite, you click this and it will give you a shortcut link to that you can copy and paste. It's the same link I put into the comments there, but you can copy and paste it into a text, into an email, into social media posts, whatever you want. You can use that link to direct people to this page. And the more people you can direct to us, the better for us, because the hardest thing with social media and technology nowadays is the algorithm and overcoming that. So organic growth is the best growth. It doesn't rely on algorithms to do so. So you share, and then the people who are part of your algorithms will see it, and they'll have a chance to learn about Last Light, Bardstone Publishing, and they can decide if they want to join in on this fun. So that's what we're doing here today. So let's scroll down a little bit. Oh, if you go here though, and let's say you decide, well, I don't know if I want to back it yet. And just for the record too, when you back it, it doesn't charge your credit card at this moment. It will charge your credit card once we achieve our goal and the Kickstarter's finished. That's when they process all the pledges. So it won't hit your credit card immediately. So you're making a pledge for a future payment on your credit card. Okay. So, but if you're like, well, I don't know if I want to back it now, click that remind me button because it's very easy to forget about the project. It will send you an email when you are when we're getting closer to the end of the project, just to remind you that the end is near, so to speak. All right, so let's scroll down here. As you come down, the first thing I want to point out is our early bird special. This is for, we like to give a little incentive to everybody who jumps in on the action early. And if you want, if you're interested in all 5 covers, our early bird special, if you get it during the normal time period, will be $45 for the set of 5. But if you do the early bird, you'll get it for $35. Plus, you'll get the additional digital edition as well. So you can read that on your phone, on your computer, your tablets, Kindle, whatever, however you like to read, you can do it that way. So that's a pretty cool thing there. Then we get into a little bit of the story. I'll read this a little bit later just to give you a backstory there. As I said, we have variant covers are always the rage. I mean, some projects, especially the very large projects out there, I've seen have as many as 12 to 18 covers. I've seen some with more actually. And people just love buying up all the variant covers. We also do that, but we usually are around 5 to 6 covers is usually what we offer. We're offering 5 here. If we get far enough in the stretch goals, my plan is to add a cover, a 6th one, but we will have to get pretty high up to do that. But you guys dictate it. If the demand is there, we will do it, and for sure. But so you see here, we got upper left is one of my covers. The middle and lower right are also my covers. Upper right is Kevin Meinert's cover, and then lower left is Brett Pinson's cover, which he is in the process of finalizing. So once we have that in hand, we will update it. So we'll have a grand reveal when that occurs. So I see a couple people are joining in. Appreciate you popping in. I'm posting the comments again, just in case you didn't get to see the comment when it comes up the first time. Excuse me. It has the link to this Kickstarter here. So we're halfway through, more than halfway through now. Our minimum funding goal, we're at $819. Minimum goal is $1,500. Our true goal is we would like to break the $5,000 mark. That's where we would really like to be. So so stay tuned to see if we do that. But we can only do it with your help. So here we have the different covers. I'm also, just as a little teaser, a little bit later here, I'm going to cover music. I didn't have time to have the video fully ready for the grand launch of this project, but I'm in the process of finalizing a couple pages and things where I'm going to take the images and I'm going to make a quick little music video. And to do so, I came up with a theme song for Last Light. So I'll be playing that in a little bit and going over how to do that if you are your own creator. Here are some samples of the interiors. The interiors are still in process. Where are we now? So as far as the book goes, the script is done. The pencils are done. The inks are done. If you're familiar with color flats, the color flats are done. And now I'm going through and doing all the final colors and highlights and shading, putting those final touches in there. So with that, once that's done, then I just forward over to Brett, who will be handling our lettering, and then the book will be ready for publication. So that's where we're at. We're 85 to 90% done right at this moment. It will definitely be done on time for this project, though. So these pages I'm showing are at various states of completion. I showed a couple of Kevin Meinert's inks for some of those pages. His inks came out so great just as is. Really, we could have just gone straight to black and white, which honestly actually was the original plan for this series, is just to keep it moving along. But we made the decision because of the content. We felt color would portray it much better. Like when you look at that polar bear, here, I'll remove this really quick here. Well, it makes me, let's make me small here. It doesn't let me make me, there we go. When you look at the polar bear, in black and white, it wouldn't look the same as being able to see the raw skin underneath, and the torn up lips and everything on there. So made the creative decision to expand this to full blown color, and make it a full blown issue. So original plan was to make this a black and white issue with the only colors being the cover, but we just, the artwork was coming out so beautiful, and we're like, nah, we got to give it the full color treatment. And I'm glad we did. It's the way to go. It really is. So there we go there. So I'm working on those colors now. Let me put the back up on the screen. Oh, that's interesting. It's made me different there. Let's go there. There we go. All right. So those are some samples of some of them that you see, some of the finished color pages as well. And as I said, all the pages have at least the base colors done throughout. I'm just finalizing shading and highlights at this point. And through updates on Kickstarter, I'll post when we get closer to the finish and share more samples. This is where you'll want to scroll if you're not sure what you want to get for your rewards. With Kickstarter, they have what they call reward tiers, where you decide what level of funding you want to do. So we have, if you just want a basic digital edition and nothing else, it's just $5 for your support. And once this is fully ready, you will receive a digital link through our online distributor, Drive-Through Comics, where they will, through a link through them, you'll be able to download. You'll have to create a free account on Drive-Through Comics. It's free, no charge to you. It's very easy to set up. But what's nice about it is you can download that directly to your tablet, computer, phone, whatever you want. But through your account, it will forever be in your account. So if you don't want to download it and take up all your memory, you can save it in your library that way and go back to it whenever you want, download it again, reread it again, whatever works for you. So it's a very simple 2-minute process of creating your account if you don't have one. All right, next is the Last Light issues. These are for just $12. You get an issue of a physical copy of issue number 1. It's 32 full color pages. Just to put that in perspective, a normal size comic book is typically 22 pages of story. So this is basically like a 1.5 issues worth of story content. And like we said, full color throughout, high quality paper we're going to use through our printers. And we're very excited about that. If you're not familiar, I get asked this question a lot from people who aren't really collectors and understand variant covers. We have 5 different variant covers available. The interiors are the same for all 5 books. The difference is what cover you get. You get to choose or pick 1 or 2 or pick all of them, like I said. So you choose. So that's what we're seeing here. We got cover A here, which is by me. Cover B is Kevin Minert, who is also doing the inks in the book. Cover C is Brett Pinson, who's also doing the lettering. Cover D is myself. And cover E is also myself. So those are those different covers there. So you can get this set for $12 each per book, or get the whole collection for $45 if you get it. Or you can utilize the early bird special, which is available for just a couple days, and get it for $35. So save $10 there. That's the best deal. Now, once you secure whatever base order you want for your reward, you then at checkout can do what's called add-ons. With add-ons, what's nice about that is you can customize your reward further. So let's say you don't want all the covers. Maybe you want cover A and B. You could just choose cover A as the reward, And then in the checkout, you can select cover B to be added into your order. So that's one way to customize. Or let's say you decide you want, one of cover A, two of cover B, one of cover C. You can do that. So you have that flexibility through the add-on menu. The other things that are going to be available through the add-ons, which you won't see here, is our Crimson Shadow series. We have a lot of books for, actually in our other Bardstone series as well. So we have Crimson Shadows. We have issues 1 through 4. We also have the Crimson Shadows Trade. It's a 200-page full-color book filled with all 4 issues of story content for Crimson Shadows 1 through 4, plus a bonus 28 pages of story, which is like a full extra issue. And then a bonus content on top of that at the back of the book, which gives you timelines, behind the scenes look at things, and a section I call Fact and Fiction, pointing out which parts of the story are true historical facts, which characters are true historical people, so on and so forth. So if you don't know Crimson Shadows, it takes place around the Jack the Ripper killings in England. That's the foundation of the storyline, where the setting and events are. And then we weave our unique story throughout, bringing in infamous monsters like Frankenstein, Dracula, and others into the story. So it's a fun series that you can do there. We also have Wretched Realms, Emmanuel, and others available there. So you can if you're new to Bardstone and you haven't experienced those other stories, through the add-ons, feel free to shop away, and we can supply you there. I also want to point out, through the add-ons, Kevin Miner has made available some of his inks. And while I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and post the link again in case people jumped in afterwards. There's the link to the Kickstarter. So these are 11 by 17 bristleboard pages, and they are marker and ink, and along with ink washes for some of the shading. So for $55, you can get an original piece of art from the book. One of the pages, 14 of the pages have been made available by Kevin. So, and those are one of a kind. There's only one original for each page. So if you like original art, do that. He will mail it in a rolled up tube that gets shipped. It's very sturdy. We've never had any issues with the artwork being damaged on its way over to whoever buys it. So it's a pretty reliable, but also affordable way of shipping, because to ship a large piece of art flat, you would really have to reinforce it a lot to prevent bending from the post office, and a size that big would be very pricey to ship. So roll up tube anywhere in the US, shipping is only $5 for that, and you'll get original artwork. You can also add, like I said, then you'll have your other rewards that you can add as you please through the add-ons, and we'll ship those as a separate box to you, separate from the original artwork. So there you go there. Then we have stretch goals. We're in the process of working on those stretch goals. We know what they're going to be, but I don't want to announce them yet. I want to reveal them as they come undone. So come unlocked, I should say. So our first stretch goal will be at 1,500, and with the stretch goals, where that comes in play is everybody who orders a physical reward, if you already have a reward that's being mailed to you, these stretch goals will unlock rewards that will be added to your order at no extra charge. So it's adding value to whatever order you've already created. So these are some fun bells and whistles. We got some 4x6 things. I might do depending where we go with this, we have some really beautiful 4x6 metal prints from our Frankenstein series. I might make those available. But if we hit 7,500, that's where I will do a bonus cover for Last Light #1 to be added. So that's what we're doing there. And then if you feel like reading it, you get down to the creator section. It's everybody who's involved. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's part of this. We got Brett Pinson. I've known Brett for a long time. He's a him and Kevin are seasoned veterans out on the Comic-Con circuit. They are both creators in their own right, have done numerous books themselves. And together we've come together, and this co-sharing of ideas, and we help each other with each other books. We do that under the brand Bardstone Publishing. So Brett Pinson, he's handling the letters, like I said, for this book. He's also handling for Crimson Shadows as well, and other things. And then he's done all the writing and creation of his series as well. We have Kevin Meinert, who's our inker, and he's a great friend also, just like Brett. We've traveled the road for a long time together, and we still want to work together. So that's a testament to all of us, I think. Then I skipped over there. Darren O'Brien. Darren is a friend of mine that I've known forever. Darren is new to the comic book world. He has always written his own stories, his own private stories for his own fun and amusement. And this one particular story he was covering, in discussions with him, I was listening to him and I'm like, I think you have something here. With comics, when you create a story, especially when you don't typically write, our natural want is to create something grand and epic, almost like Lord of the Rings. We have these ideas of these worlds and universes that are huge, but to boil it down to comic book size, you really have to cut away 99% of all the story just to fit it into a comic issue. You really have to simplify it a lot. And the best way to think about it is, if you wanted to write a story that would fit in a comic book, you have to think of each page as a paragraph, and each panel in that page a sentence in the paragraph. So if you have a 24-page comic book, think of it as a 24-paragraph story. That's all it is. That's the only room you have to tell your tale. So you got to really boil it down. But he had this story. It's a really good story, the whole arc, but it's too large for comic books, at least in a limited series. I mean, to tell his whole story would be like 8,000 issues. But so we narrowed our focus onto a section of the story that we felt could be its own self-contained tale. And then from there, we divided it up into what we believe will be individual issues. Right now, I think we're looking at about 5 issues of content for this story arc. But I think, just due to time commitments, I think we're going to further boil that down until we get down to a 3-issue arc that will fit into one nice size trade. So it will be probably, I'm guessing we're going to have anywhere from 100, maybe even 150 pages of story if we do it as a trade that way. So that's where our goal is for the initial arc. But like I said, the story actually goes on much more. We're just covering the initial phase here. And then if it does well enough, then we can look at either growing the series into additional books, or do we spin it off into other directions, novels or other things? So that's what we're kind of looking at there. But you might be asking yourself, what is this story even about? Because I haven't gotten into that yet. So I want to cover that really quick. Oh, really quick too. You got myself. You know who I am. And Shara Lima, I want to thank so much. She's an amazing flatter with color. So when you do your books, we do the pencils, then we do our inks, then we send them over to Shara. And her job is to isolate everything into different colors, and it's creating flat colors. It almost looks like an old, a very simple animation cell where it's just flat colors, no shading, nothing. And for sometimes she knows exactly what colors I want. Sometimes she just uses her intuition, which usually, gotta say, she's usually like 95% correct with her color choice, even without me telling her what to do. And then when I get it back, I go through and do final corrections of those colors to be exactly the palette I'm looking for. But by her doing the flats, I can easily grab a color and everything on the page that's the same color lights up, and I can quickly make the changes I need to. And so her part in this process really, really speeds it up a lot. And saves a lot of time for us. That she's far faster at that than I am. So she does a phenomenal job. So if anyone is looking for a color flatter, I always recommend Shara for that. Let's get into the story. I better really quick. I'm going to read the intro here because, a lot of people don't want to read. So I will do the reading really quick. All right. Gotta get my speaking voice going. But here we go. Okay, so we have in the unforgiven wilderness of Siberia, where endless forests and frozen tundra guard the ancient secrets, an unknown terror is about to awaken. A terror so powerful it could shatter the very fabric of history and push humanity to the edge of extinction. As we enter into the story in 1908, the Imperial Russian military sends an elite unit of soldiers, along with a team of scientists, to the heart of the devastation we now know as the Tunguska event. Desperate to uncover the source of this devastating blast, a brilliant yet controversial scientist known as Dr. Akilichenko leads this clandestine operation. As they journey deeper into the Siberian expanse, what begins as a scientific inquiry quickly descends into a fight for survival. What they discover at Ground Zero defies explanation as the local wildlife and fellow soldiers are transformed into mindless vessels of chaos and destruction. As the operation spirals into sure defeat, Dr. Akilichenko and his team must overcome their primal fears to find a way to survive the day. Political intrigue and historical figures will be woven throughout this series. These figures include Nikolai Tesla, Grigory Rasputin, Tsar Nicholas II, and even the infamous Vladimir Lenin. They're all drawn into the secret war for control of this newfound menace. As the dark entity's presence spreads, so too does its terrifying influence, warping minds and igniting conspiracies that span nations. The stakes couldn't be higher, with the Russian Empire teetering on political collapse and a new terror on the horizon. Humanity's fate rests in the hands of a few brave souls. As alliances fracture and trust erodes, the line between ally and enemy blurs, and the unimaginable begins to infiltrate the shadows of the Russian Empire. Last Light thrusts readers into the tensions of 1908 Russia, where the backdrop of historical power struggles are leading to the soon-to-be-known war to end all wars. And those power struggles are accentuated by this new threat discovered at the site of the Tunguska event. Will humanity stand against the rising darkness, or will our struggles against one another reshape the course of history forever? So there you have it. So if you don't know what the Tunguska event is, it's pretty fascinating. And actually, I'll pull that up really quick. Yeah, any quick Google search will see this. But Tunguska event, it took place in Russia back in 1908. And what's fascinating about this, I'll pull up the images. It really is fascinating. This is the real world part of it. So let me pull that up of the story here. All right. So if you look up Tunguska event and look up photos, this area, those are all the trees. They were just flattened, completely flattened, in an area almost the size of the state of Rhode Island. It's quite huge. And if you go there today, this is what it looks like now to this day. So over 100 years later, there's this completely flattened area in the middle of this forest. It's completely flattened. And these are photos that were taken at the time where you just see the trees are not just flattened, but the branches completely stripped off the trunks of the tree. And it's just thousands and thousands and thousands of trees are completely flat. I'm trying to find a picture. Here's another one at the event. The trees, the tops are all stripped bare. So this is the center point of our story, where this devastation takes place. Now, here's what's interesting. In 1908, at the same time, another event was taking place over in New York. And in New York, you have, let me type that in here. You have Tesla testing his death ray. And it wasn't called the death ray by him. That's the nickname given to it. But we have here, now somebody added the lightning, but he has this tower in New York at his facility over there, and he was testing this ray. Now, his theory was he could fire this at the atmosphere, bounce it off the atmosphere, and have it hit anywhere else in the world that he wants. That was his theory. And there happened to be a gentleman up at the North Pole doing an exploration that he was making arrangements with that would witness this ray when he fired it. And so Tesla fires this off in New York in the evening, and the ray travels up to the North Pole, and then we don't know what happened to it. But if you look at a map, this is where it gets interesting. If we go to here, let me pull up Google Earth, because this is where it gets very intriguing. If we go to Google Earth, where's Earth? Here we go. Let's pull up the Google Earth map. I haven't done this yet, so hopefully I navigate this properly. If you haven't used Google Earth before, it's pretty cool. So, okay, here's Google Earth. It's pick it up on my location, zooming out, right? There's Michigan, right? So there's Michigan. But we want to zoom out even further. And if you go out like this, so here's New York. And what was the Tesla lab? It's I don't know how to pronounce it. Wardenclyffe. So let's look that up. We're gonna say Wardenclyffe. All right. So if we zoom in here we go. So this is it's the Tesla Science Center. If we close this, this is where it used to be. Okay. And in the backyard here was where the Tesla Tower was. So if we zoom out now, what happened there? Come on. Did I lose my internet? I gotta say refresh page. There we go. So if I zoom out of there, right? The whole Earth is sideways right now, but okay. I'm gonna zoom out farther. So his thing is down here, right? Now, if you look at the Earth from the top, so keep in mind over here is where Tesla is. He's firing towards the North Pole. And then if it misses and keeps going, you end up over here. Now let's look up Tunguska. I'm going to put Tunguska blast event. So this is where the Tunguska blast event is. So if you zoom in here, you can see right where it's at, which is very fascinating to me how this works this day and age, right? So we're going to zoom out from the, and you can still see some of the marks there. Zoom out from Russia, and we got to find where's the North Pole. Here's the North Pole. So, somebody keeps texting me and it keeps blocking my internet here. Refresh. Sorry about that. Now what's it doing? Bomb down on me. Refresh. There we go. Okay, so I zoom out a little more. I don't want clouds. Can I remove those clouds? How do I do it? View. Layers. Let's shut off satellite for a moment and just go to map. There we go. Okay. So the blast that came from here, and it ended up going up towards the North Pole here. It overshot, and it ends up over here in Russia. And it ends up being like almost a perfect straight line. Now, it was spherical geometry, depending how he fired. It doesn't actually go in a perfectly straight line because the way this, you got the curvature of the Earth, but you end up very close. And so that's the basis of our thing here, where Tesla is firing this event down in New York here, right? Up towards the North Pole. The blast doesn't happen up at the North Pole, which, due to how huge the blast ended up being, it's a good thing for that explorer that it didn't, but it didn't happen. But then shortly after, down here, a blast does happen. So many people believe Tesla's responsible for it. Now, wasn't he? Who knows? We don't know. The official story is it was a meteor that exploded up in the atmosphere, and the blast was big enough to cause that kind of a devastation. But for purposes of historical fiction, there's enough here for us to make that our universe's reality. So in Last Light, that's the reality of the event. Tesla's death ray goes across the North Pole, lands in Russia. So that's what we're doing there. So now, let me get back to the Kickstarter page. And there we go. So now you see where our story's coming from. Tesla is in the opening act. We see him firing his death ray. But the rest of the story is focusing on what's happening on the ground in Russia. Now, keep in mind, at the time of our story, we're at the ground level, experiencing it the same time that the characters in the story are. So they are encountering things they don't understand and fighting for survival to get out. The continuation of the story will be following what they learn from this, and what they discover is the cause of the infected that starts happening. Are they zombies? Are they something else? We don't know. But we know as the creators. You don't know as the reader, and the characters in the story don't know. And the future stories will unfold what they find, and then, as many government powers like to do, people at certain levels seek to weaponize things that they hope to gain an advantage with for their own personal gains. So that's what the story will go into. And like we said before, characters like Lenin will rise up. We have Rasputin in this story in issue 1. He's a key part in this. And in real life, he was close friends with the Tsar. And so we utilize a lot of facts from his real life and intertwine them into the story. We're going to see the fall of the Tsars and the royal family and the rise of communism through the Bolshevik Revolution. That's all stuff that will come in the series as it unfolds. So the little teaser for you history buffs out there. So yeah. So as I said before, if you want, you can become a backer. Get over there, click back this project, and we're trying to hit that goal of 1,500. Now, I also mentioned, part of the process when you're creating comic books now, it's not just simply drawing. It's not just simply drawing a book and printing it. There's so much more to it now. And a big part is things like Kickstarter. I have to create all the banners and the marketing. And so for the promos, I've been working on some songs. Now, this is an interesting thing. It's both fascinating and terrifying at the same time. It's the use of AI. Now, for me, I'm an artist. So my art is totally my art. There's no AI use in the art. But I came across this one, and my apologies to any musicians out there because I know you're going to be cringing at this. Unfortunately, I don't have a budget for a John Williams to join my project and do this. But I thought I would share this because I thought this was really cool. So there's a thing called Suno AI, and it creates music. So I wrote up some lyrics that I had in mind for a song, and then I inputted then I tell it what kind of mood I want or what feel or style or genre I want, and then it will produce it, which is pretty cool. So I thought I would give some taste tests. I have 24 different versions here. I'm obviously not going to go through them all, but thought I would grab a couple here and just to give you a flavor. So here's one of the contenders here. I have it labeled as 70s Vietnam rock. I'm a 70s fan for rock from that era. So here's what we got using that.
Last light fading from the skies, death whispers, lonely cries, tears falling from those alive. Shadows grow as night goes by. Bones creak as the minutes crawl. Silence roars at the end of the hall. Breathing heavy against the wall.
I'll just go a little longer.
Around us all.
Get to the main bridge.
Last right in the dying's eyes, where the living pour out cries.
That gives you a flavor.
Sky, no time to say goodbye.
Okay, that's enough of that one. So that one is one of the contenders. I thought I would play just one or two more just so you can get a feel. Here's one. I was trying to get a Johnny Cash feel like that. So here's how that one is. Wow.
Cries, tears falling from those alive. Shadows grow as night goes by. Bones creak as the minutes crawl. Silence rolls at the end of the hall. Breathing heavy against the wall. Darkness wraps around us all. Last light in the dying's eyes, where the living pour out cries.
That gives you an example there.
Under a blackened sky, no time to say goodbye.
So there's that one. All right, let's see. I'll just play one or two more here. Let's see. Library. Let's go back here. Let's do. can go here. This one. This one I was going for 90s rock metal is what I typed in.
Last light fading from the skies, death whispers lonely cries.
This might be my personal favorite out of them all, just because I like this era of music. Feels like if it's its sister saying it, it sounds something like this, but.
Bones creak as the minutes crawl. Silence falls at the end of the hall.
So I get to the chorus.
Breathing heavy against the wall. Darkness wraps around us all.
There we go.
Last light in the dying's eyes, where the living pour out cries. Blood spills under a blackened sky. No time to say goodbye.
So there's that one. All right, almost done. I'm just showing this off, like the range it can do here. Let's see. Oh, the ones here. I gotta play this one in honor of Kevin Meinert. I think this is the one he would like the best. I think it was this one. I think this he likes heavy. So this one is typed aggressive, dark tones, hard rock.
Last light fading from the skies, death whispers lonely cries.
That's one of them, but it was 7. There we go. It's this one. This is it.
Light fading thin in the sky, death whispers lonely cries. Tears falling from the living alive. Shadows up at night goes by. Bones creak as the minutes crawl. Silence roars at the end of the hall. Breathing heavy against the wall. Darkness wraps around us all. Last light in the dying's eyes, where the living scream and cry. Blood spills under blackened skies. No escape, no goodbyes. Last light in the
so anyways, there's that one. Okay, one more, then I promise to be done. This one, I think this was one that would work. Let's see. Oh no, wait, that's not it. Well, this one is a Celtic one. This one has a Celtic flair. Ahead.
Only cries, tears falling from those alive. Shadows grow as night goes by. Bones creak as the minutes crawl. Silence roars at the end of the hall. Breathing heavy against the wall. Darkness wraps around us all. Last light in the dying's eyes.
I really like this one.
Where the living pour out cries. Blood spills under a blackened sky. No time to say goodbye.
Oh, that might be my favorite. I don't know. I really like that one. Okay, last one, I promise. Which was song 23. I accidentally hit 3, but that was a good mistake. 23. Here's the last one. This one I have. Low, ominous, macabre cello. I was just playing with words at this point. Let's see what we have here. This one I think might be the best for a video, for promotional purposes.
Fading from the skies, Death whispers lonely cries, tears falling from those alive. Shadows grow as night goes by. Bones creak as the minutes crawl. Silence roars at the end of the hall. Breathing heavy against the wall. Darkness wraps around us all. Lost the light in the dying's eyes. Whether the living or of Christ. Blood spills under a blackened sky. No time to say goodbye. Faces ghostly grim.
There's just a flavor of the different styles that we have. Here, let's stop that screen and put the other one back up. So it's just fun playing with it, coming up with different things. As I said before, it's kind of scary though how AI is working. I'm not a fan of AI personally, but at the same time, I'm realistic. It exists and I can use it. And, for someone like myself, I'm not going to use AI for my artwork because I am an artist, but I'm not a musician and I don't, unless I had musician friends who want to work for free, which I would never ask them to, I got to resort to AI. So I was able to write lyrics, like I said, and then through AI, you input it all and it wrote all these different styles. It's insane. So that's what I'm doing for promotional purposes. I'll do that as my jingle, so to speak, and put some. I'm in the process of getting the artwork together that I'm going to use in the video to make that happen. So there's that. But enough of that. Let's get back to this before I sign off. Give one last pitch here. Post the links one last time. We got Last Light, the untold tale of Tesla's Tunguska event. It's a fun story. And one of these days I'll have Darren on with me. He's the creator of the series, and then him and I together are co-writers of it. And then as far as the adaptation of it to comic book goes, we're the co-writers. He's the primary writer. And then I handled pencils. I did the layouts and pencils and final colors. Kevin Meinert did the inks. Brett Pinson's going to do the lettering. And Cheryl Lima did the flats. That's where we're at. So get over there, share it, share the links, please. Post, follow, back it, all those fun things. Here's what I can tell you about our fan base. Our customers, we have a really huge return for our fan base. Every Kickstarter, it's amazing how many of our orders are from people who've ordered from us before. Same at Comic-Cons. People who buy a single issue will come back and buy the rest because we put quality into these books, and we don't go cheap on the paper or the printing. It is quality. If you saw this on the shelf next to Marvel, DC, I would even argue, because I've been in comic book shops, our quality far surpasses those companies. They go much cheaper on their printing than we do. So we go a higher quality level than what I typically see on the bookshelves. So, and artwork wise, layouts, every step of the process, we really are pouring ourselves into these and giving you a quality product, and our fans know it. Ibrahim's commenting, your dedication. This campaign is truly remarkable. As a crowdfunding specialist, I would be honored to help you. I appreciate that, Ibrahim. No offense to you, I don't know you. This is my 15th Kickstarter I'm doing, and while I would love to use a crowdfunding specialist to help me, I have attempted multiple times, and every time it's been a complete flop with zero return on the money, not even a partial return on the money. It's a big nothing. Um, and other people I know who've also tried various crowdfunding specialists also have told me that there's, unless you have a really large budget for a high level marketing company to really roll this out for you, um, I'm not interested. So I wish you luck in what you're doing. Um, Unfortunately, not for me. I've tried it. Don't have the budget for it, but yeah. So check us out. Share the links. Get your rewards. Pick up your back issues of Crimson Shadows, Wretched Realms, Emmanuel, and anything else you can think of. Um, we'll be making some more posts as the days come, just keeping everyone up to date on where we're at with these amounts. We should be, I'm hoping to unlock the minimum goal sometime in the next day or two. That's my goal. Hopefully we hit it. We're going to try some posts at different times, but please share. Sharing is caring. Take care all. Have a great night.